This is the 6th in a series of 10 modules all about social enterprise. This module is looking at monitoring and evaluation in social enterprise. The aim of this module is to support the learner in understanding the importance of monitoring and evaluation in a social enterprise setting, and to facilitate the exploration of the learner's immediate and wider work context in order to promote professional development. By the end of this session, the learner will be able to identify the difference between monitoring and evaluation, understand the importance of monitoring and evaluation, and consider a triple bottom line approach. What is monitoring? In its most simple guise, monitoring is all about regularly collecting and recording information in order to check the progress of your enterprise against the plans you have set. All organisations keep records and notes and discuss what they are doing. This simple checking becomes monitoring when information is collected routinely and systematically against a plan. The information might be about activities or services, your users, or about outside factors affecting your organisation or project. It is important to be familiar with the Data Protection Act. Make sure data is used for its intended purpose. If personal information is kept about individuals, make sure they know exactly what the monitoring and evaluation is for, what data exists, that they can have access to it to check its accuracy, and that the project will preserve their confidentiality. What is evaluation? Evaluation builds on monitoring and is used to provide an assessment of the effectiveness and, more importantly, the impact of your enterprise. When you evaluate, you will use the information that you collect during your monitoring activities, but it is likely that you will want to use additional information to help capture your story in greater detail. The importance of monitoring and evaluation. Your social enterprise will have a mission, aims and objectives. Without monitoring and evaluation, how will you know if you are fulfilling them? By monitoring and evaluating your enterprise, you will be able to check that it is providing services or products that are of the highest possible quality. You will be able to ensure that you are operating effectively and efficiently and creating value for money. Sharing the results of your monitoring and evaluation will mean that you are accountable to your stakeholders. This will give you credibility. Monitoring and evaluation is crucial for funding and invaluable when it comes to talking to people who matter about your enterprise. It can be used for publicity and marketing purposes and as information for legal compliance. How to monitor and evaluate. There are many methods and approaches and tools for evaluating your social enterprise. The Charities Evaluation Service suggests a number of basic steps that identify what needs to be undertaken. Also, the Prove and Improve tool from the New Economics Foundation offers some practical guidelines. There are some basic points for successful monitoring. Build simple, user-friendly monitoring systems into everyday activities, collecting data at the most natural point. Get commitment from those collecting the information by explaining why they are doing it. Make sure that everyone responsible for monitoring has clear and consistent guidelines. Make sure that monitoring records are completely, fully and accurate. People may not regard it as high priority activity. Give people collecting the information feedback on the results of their monitoring and how it is being used to make the organisation more effective. And check that your enterprise is not collecting the same piece of information more than once. As an activity, can you identify how your enterprise monitors and evaluates its activities? So where does monitoring and evaluation fit? The diagram on this slide demonstrates that it is important that monitoring and evaluation is part of a continuous cycle of improvement for a social enterprise. So what is success for social enterprise? Traditionally, for conventional enterprise, money is the measure of success. For social enterprises, there are a number of measures of success, not only whether you are meeting your stated mission and aims, but also the wider impacts you have. These might be social, environmental, or economic. This is otherwise known as the triple bottom line approach. Sometimes it's known as measuring against people, profit, and planet. Triple bottom line is a term coined by John Elkington in 1994 to take the double bottom line approach of economic and social impact a step further. Triple bottom line. In the simplest terms, if your enterprise has an environmental aim, you would also be looking at reporting on the social and economic value that you create. If you have a social aim, you need to ensure that your enterprise is accounting fully for the economic and environmental impacts that you have. As an activity, return to the social enterprises that you identified in earlier modules. Can you find evidence of their impact? Do they look at the triple bottom line? Measuring the triple bottom line. It is feasible for an enterprise to assess its impact in terms of triple bottom line without using any particular framework. However, there are a number of methods in place that can support an enterprise as it undertakes this evaluation. There are a number of tools available to help with this procedure, and it's worth asking other enterprises how they report, since each tool has its pros and its cons. It is about deciding which is the most appropriate method for your enterprise. You might wish to consider social accounting and audit, or look at social return on investment, consider the cooperative, environmental and social performance indicators, or look at the Global Reporting Initiative. Interestingly, corporate businesses are being encouraged to report in terms of sustainable development and on related broader social and environmental impacts relating to their work, such as SEED, social, ethical and environmental disclosure reporting. This is forming part of their corporate social responsibility.